Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm just up here early and noticed that Meri went on for many more hours and did all of her prompts. So what I'm going to do is do the remaining prompts, or most of them, on this sheet. But I wanted to share before Meri came on yesterday, I did this page on my own, because what I'm wanting is just backgrounds that I can chop up into little pieces to turn into Christmas trees. So that's going to be my aim for the remaining prompts, or the prompts that I use. And then this is the one I did with Meri last night here. And I love how it turned out. So this one I will cut as card fronts because I've got to add a ribbon angel to the front of each one. So that's that. So let me see what Meri has said here. I wrote them down. And I noticed Meri got a little off track right before I went off. These are the prompts for the one I did earlier, and I'll add these to the description box as well when I'm done. So these are the ones we did together last night. So the first thing says white circles and cookies. So it's a white piece of paper. So I'm going to hold that prompt, and I'm not seeing any color at all being added after this. And I don't have any Christmas music paper, but I have music paper. So I'm going to add music paper first to give me something to work from. I'm just going to use these here. Right. I think these are the side pieces, but they'll give me some texture and background. And I'm just going to randomly put these on here and go from there. It won't be all music paper. It'll just be book paper of some sort or another. I hope everybody's going to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Scott and I are hanging here at the house. And we'll go and have Thanksgiving with our son tomorrow. At the cottage, I mean, not the house. So that is how our day is going to go. Nice lazy day. No cooking or anything here. We're just going to play it by ear. Oh, I don't want to cover up that. Well, it doesn't matter. It's all going to get covered up, right? I saw Meri went back live again this morning. I don't know how she does it. I was sound asleep when she was up and live, but I've been getting better sleep, which is good. I always sleep better in the winter because we don't have to listen to those air conditioners click on and off. They really keep me up bad. I don't really care for that really thick paper I'm getting on here. Oh, I like that that covered the whole page. But since I started using that thick pieces, I'm going to keep using them so that the page is kind of even. These were some I tore apart, I think, to do projects with Jerry Bellini. And I hadn't seen Jerry in a long time. So I hope she's okay. So Jerry, if you're watching this, I hope you're okay. And I hope you had a good Thanksgiving and all with your family. And I will say that this is an adult video, not made for children, because you wouldn't let them unsupervised with a big old jug of Mod Podge. I don't think you would. Some of this is torn in bits, so it's a little bit harder to get on here. I thought about doing this as a video where I could fast forward it, but then I figured, what if somebody wants to work along with it? And if I do it fast forward, it's a little bit harder unless they make me go slow and sound funny. So that is why you're getting me on here talking softly and working along slowly. But I just wanted to have something for a base since I'm starting at the back end of a prompt session, basically, to do a fresh one because I felt happy with what I had when I left last night. So that's why I'm doing this one here. Oh, that needs to be, well, it doesn't matter. So we'll get all these on here and see what I end up with. This might make for some interesting trees. See, I was thinking of cutting these into strip and make those stacked trees because that's an easy way and fast way to make Christmas cards. And I might could do another video on how to make those trees. I think this is 2 pages here. Oh, I'm off screen some. I'm sorry. There we go. I gotta remember to have it up farther. And yes, I waste a lot of Mod Podge. I use too much, blah, blah, blah. I want it to stick. I don't want all of this to fall off later. Some of this is very fragile. It's from an old dictionary, I think. So this is the perfect use for it because it's getting sealed between other things. And that way it won't come off. I think my talking stimulates Kathy. Sorry, Kathy. Callie's need to feed because she just went to the kitchen and got some more to eat because she can hear me talking. Isn't that funny? This part takes a while to do. maybe I shouldn't worry about covering, every last inch of this. Or I will be here all morning just putting stuff down. Uh-oh. My brother works for, when there's a natural disaster, he gets called out and makes sure generators and stuff are going. And he got called out and sent somewhere saying they needed a generator hooked up. But then when he got all the way out in the boondocks where this place was, they didn't need a generator. They needed a new meter on it. Hang on just a sec. Yes, I'll let you out. I'm going to lift you guys up so that I don't have to keep worrying about being out of shot. How's that? Much better. So, here we are, working on prompts again in the morning. When we do the alternates sometime, I think one of them should be colors, so that, if no colors are given, we'll have something we can put down. I might mention that to Meri. Or Meri, if you're watching this, you ought to do that. Nobody's probably going to watch this for at least a couple days anyway. Uh-oh. Okay. Everybody's with their families, as they should be. My mom invited us for Thanksgiving, but we kind of were happy to be just the two of us today here. And I told her just after yesterday, I didn't want to be on the road at all. That trip around Greenville was a trip in its own right. I don't know if I told y'all, but Scott and I checked out that discount lumber place. It's not too far from us, and I think we're going to utilize it. Most definitely in the future. I would be done if I hadn't chose to use all these little strips. Let's see if I can find some bigger strips so I'm not keeping you guys here all morning. It doesn't matter if it hangs off the edge a little bit. In fact, that's probably a good thing. And it's got some music paper in it. So I'm trying to follow the prompt. I just don't have Christmas music on here. I'm sure everybody else is busy cooking and watching the parade. And of course, I don't know if they're having the parade today. Are they having the Macy's parade today? I wonder. Good question. They were talking about the balloons would have a problem yesterday on the car radio. They would probably won't be able to do it because of winds. We always watched the Macy's parade when I lived in New York. Till it was time to eat, and then my grandmother didn't want the TV on anymore. We're eating. It's time to be done with the television. She hated the TV, I think, except when it came to her stories. Don't get between her and the young and the restless. Uh-oh. That was one of her stories. And she liked As the World Turns. She watched them back to back. And then mainly she would watch them while she took her nap. Let's just click that on there. The thing about the music sheets is they're nice and long. If I could find a whole bunch of those, I could get done quickly. Let's do some this way too. So I'm going to be making cards to take to my Aunt Marty's, or to send to my Aunt Marty's assisted living facility. And I came to find out, Mom found out it's only about 50 people, not 200. So I was glad to hear that, because 200 would be a daunting task to make that many cards on my own. But 50, I can probably do them pretty quickly. Another one of those really thick pieces. They don't like to glue down well, is why I don't want to use them. Uh-oh, it's moving on me. So I didn't watch the rest of Meri. I just got the prompts so that I could do a video this morning. And I'm doing this as a private that I will click to public as soon as it processes. Got just a few more spaces that I would like to fill. This edge down here. Remember, it can hang off because we can always trim it. Okay, there's some music notes. We'll just add them on top here. All right, I'm going to call that good. Put that back in the glue pot. I'll set this aside. Baby wipes have fallen to the bottom. And yes, I'm still in PJs. Why bother getting dressed, right? right. I'm going to dry this a little bit. Alright, so I will mark, I'm going to make a list of the prompts I do. So first is add book or music paper. My two, let's look at Mary's. Let's see, she's got, so we'll cross off where is it? Music, Christmas music. I'll cross that off. Then I'm going to choose some colors that she had on here. There's bubble wrap with red and bubble wrap with white. So I'm going to do some bubble wrap work in those two colors. So on the back, I'll write bubble wrap with red and white. Okay. So I've got some bubble wrap that I had last night, but here it is. And those sponges are kind of gross. Let's see if I can get one out. It's got green on it. I've got just my dry cloth here. I'll dry the sponge a little bit. And I might pick up some of this green if I'm not careful. I don't want color shift. I'm going to use primary red. I'll just put a little bit out on the drop paper right here. And then I pick it up with a sponge and kind of just sponge it around on here.